901472 and order up what you want. Maybe you like to roll your own. They have it. Maybe you need a gift for a smoker in the family. How about a new pipe? They have a large selection, even a cross-section of great beers in stock. In a hurry, come by and use the drive-thru. Located at 1639 West Highway 290 in Fredericksburg, Texas. Out of town? Visit them at the website, TejasSmokeDepot.com, or call 830-990-1472. That's 830-990-1472. It's smoking.
Hello, everybody. My name is Raul Reyes, and I'm running for Congress in Congressional District 23. I am a Trump Republican. I'm from the great city of Del Rio, Texas, born and raised on the border. I'm a retired lieutenant colonel, formerly a vice president of a junior college in Uvalde, Texas. I am a Trump supporter. I believe in America, and we need to put America in District 23 first. We need to secure the border, folks. We have illegal mass migration, and it has to stop. I'm pro-life, and I'm going to defend your religious freedom all the way through my tenure in Congress. I'm for the Second Amendment. No more infringements on our rights to defend ourselves in this great country. And I support our veterans. Being a veteran myself, I fully understand the issues and the problems that we have with the VA medical care system. I'm here to change that. With your support, we can get the care that our veterans need. God bless Texas and God bless America. I'm Raul Reyes, and I approve this message.
Paid for by the Raul Reyes for Congress Committee.
Joe Biden promised Ukraine $1 billion if they fired the prosecutor investigating his son's company.
If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Oh, son of a bitch. Got fired.
But when President Trump asks Ukraine to investigate corruption, the Democrats want to impeach him, and their media lapdogs fall in line. They lost the election. Now they want to steal this one. Don't let them.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
You never want a serious crisis to go to waste. And what I mean by that, it's an opportunity to do things that you think you could not do before.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
One of the premier property management companies in Texas, providing below market rates with above market amenities and service. Hartman has owned and operated commercial office properties since 1983, offering premium office space at an affordable price by saving businesses a significant amount of money by keeping taxes, utilities, and maintenance low. With over 30 years in commercial leasing in Houston, San Antonio, and Dallas, we have learned exactly what our customers require.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Managed on Christian principles with a strong dedication to community benevolence. Whether you need 1,000 or 10,000 square foot of office space, Hartman has that space in one of nearly 50 Texas locations.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Energy efficient buildings, customer friendly experts, supporters of conservative causes. A Texas owned and operated business for 30 years. A proud corporate sponsor of RagingElephantRadio.com.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Visit Hartman online, hi-REIT.com. Call 800-880-2212 or click the ad on RagingElephantRadio.com.
Doc says all the best words start with P. Prudence is a good word. Airlines will always say, put your own mask on first, then help your loved ones. Prudence means making sure that your family food supply is secure. Most stores have at best a 72-hour supply of food, and if something goes wrong, resupply will not happen quickly. You should have at least a 90-day supply of your favorites because it will allow you to weather the worst crisis and make plans for the future. The answer is newmanna.com. NUMANNA. New Manna is not just food storage, but really tasty food that you will enjoy eating. New Manna food is designed to last for 25 years, but many people enjoy it several times a week. Now is the time to lay in a supply of tasty New Manna food for your family. Be prepared and know your family is safe. Go to newmanna.com right now for fast delivery. That's newmanna.com.
You've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
Live from Houston, Texas, a man who calls it like he sees it, without the normal political correctness you may have grown comfortable with. It's time for the Texas Perspective on current news and events. This show is not for the faint of heart or easily offended. desk. Get your number 2 pencil ready. The Inquisition is about to begin. If you have questions, please refer them to the chat room and make them good.
Go ahead, make my day.
The doctor is in, and he will see you now.
Well, I guess we better get on with it.
And welcome to the show, my friends. Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. So glad you could attend. Come inside, come inside. Some of you guys probably have heard that before. I made it up, though. Well, you probably don't believe that either. Anyway, glad to have you here. It is a Tuesday. I don't know if Tommy Attaway is going to be with us today or not. I have not heard from him. But I do want to give you the latest coronavirus numbers because, ladies and gentlemen, this horrible disease is destroying America. I mean, it's utterly destroying America. And I want you to know this. Drum roll, please. As of today, 0.0022% of Americans have been either diagnosed or misdiagnosed for the virus. That's right. 0.02 thousandths of a percent have been diagnosed with this dread disease that kills almost nobody. So I just want you to know there's a good reason why we had to shut the country down, because you got to understand, when you have 0.002% of Americans suffering from a disease, my friends, this is horrible. Something must be done. We must do something. Anything, right? I don't know. I should not wear yellow shirts in the studio, I can tell you that. But glad to have all of you on the show today. Everybody out there in American Voice Radio, everybody out there in Raging Elephants Radio Land, and of course, those of you watching on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button because I need more subscribers. I don't know how long I'm going to be on YouTube. They're kind of capricious, and one day they just might find my channel and say, we just don't like anything this guy says, and that'll be gone. We'll see. I thought this was pretty interesting. As you know, Dan Crenshaw, the pirate we sent to Washington, Mr. Red Flag Laws, Mr. Taps himself, he put this out, and I thought it was worth playing. I've kind of gone over some of these statistics with you before, but I thought I'd give you just a little of this because I thought it was sufficiently good. So let's have that.
You need to hear this because you're being bombarded right now with these really over-the-top accusations against the president, that he's got blood on his hands, that his denial and delay has cost lives, and that basically he took no action until it was too late. The question is any of this true?
No.
All right, let's start back in January. January 15th, the first patient with coronavirus enters the United States from Wuhan. That was also the same day that these impeachment pens were being handed out. But luckily, the administration was on top of it. A couple of days later, January 17th, they were already implementing screenings at San Francisco, Los Angeles, and New York airports for flights coming in from Wuhan. But still, even about a week later, our mainstream media was still promoting things like this. Doctors saying, hey, this isn't a big deal, not much more dangerous than the flu. Nevertheless, President Trump did implement that travel restriction on January 31st, even though things like the World Health Organization were saying no need to limit trade and movement. And they largely criticized President Trump, saying, hey, this isn't a big deal, not much more dangerous than the flu.
And what happened? I'm not sure what happened. But just like that, it was gone. Oh, well. The point is that Donald Trump did exactly the right thing. And he shut this thing down early on. When Donald Trump shut down the people coming in from other countries, we didn't have a single death in America. So everybody said, don't do it. Don't do it. Michael Savage, a guy that I happen to like and respect, Michael Savage said, don't do it. But Donald Trump did it anyway. And if you could believe the World Health Organization, which has nothing to do with health and everything to do with communism, but if you could believe the World Health Organization, then what you would have to say is that Donald Trump saved 2 million lives. So That's really the crux of it right there, my friends. And I thought that was pretty good. I don't know what happened to it. It was playing along, and then all of a sudden it just went away. So I don't even know what happened to it. It just utterly disappeared from my page. So maybe somebody else didn't like me playing it. I don't know. But anyway, wanted to get down to a couple of other things. I don't want to go to that one yet. I thought this was pretty good. I could play the video, but here's the question from Weijia Zhang, a Chinese reporter working for the Communist Broadcasting System, otherwise known as CBS. And she said, since you shared with us something else you saw on TV today, I have a question on something you said Thursday, which was you were angry because information about the virus should have been told us earlier and a lot sooner, and people knew what was happening, and people did not want to talk about it. Many Americans were saying the same thing about you, that you should have warned them that this virus was spreading like wildfire through the month of February instead of holding rallies with thousands of people. Why did you wait so long? I do like it that she referenced the fact that when Donald Trump has a rally, it has hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of people, as opposed to Joe Biden, who has a rally that has tens of people. But anyway, Donald Trump said, who are you with? She said, I'm Weijia Zhang with CBS News. Trump said, so look at what I did in terms of cutting off people coming in from China. She said, oh, but by the way, Americans who were also coming from China. And Trump said, nice and easy, just relax. We cut it off. People were amazed. And Zhang said, you didn't warn people that it was spreading so quickly. And by the way, when you issued the ban, the virus is already here. I guess this is insinuating that Donald Trump should have issued the ban before we even knew the virus was here. I don't know. But she said, but did you know it was going to spread and become a pandemic? And Trump said, no, you have to do your research. On the 23rd of March, Zhang said, you knew this was going to be a pandemic. And Trump said, I did know it. Anybody knew it. How many cases were in the United States when I did the ban? How many people had died in the United States? She said, so you acknowledge that you didn't think it was going to spread. You did not think it was going to spread. And Trump answered again, how many cases were in the United States? And the answer is 0 deaths at that point in time. So, but they're trying to frame Donald Trump now with this. They tried to frame Donald Trump as being a Russian agent. They tried to frame Donald Trump as having tried to do something for his own personal good based on a phone call to the Ukrainian president where he's simply asking them to look into the corruption of Joe Biden and Hunter Biden. Remember, like you heard in the opening there? So I told him, if you don't fire that prosecutor, you're not getting the money. And son of a bitch, he got fired. Yeah, because Biden was sitting on $1 billion. And that's what they wanted Taiwan, Ukraine wanted the $1 billion, so they fired the prosecutor. But what Trump wanted to do is, I want the prosecutor to go back and look at what he was looking at. If there was a crime committed, I want to know about it. And you would think anybody else would want to know about it. But apparently not. Apparently it's not a big deal. So anyway, we got that going for us. Dr. Fauci said reopening the economy too soon may backfire, and he's absolutely right. If we reopen the economy too soon, the United States may bounce back from this, and we may be able to yet save a few people's jobs and save a few businesses. That is what the globalists don't want to happen, and that's Dr. Fauci and that chick that he hangs out with, Dr. Birx, or is that her name? Birx, B-I-R-X? Yeah, that's what they want. They want the United States to be destroyed. And I, on the other hand, would like to see the United States make it. So that's how it would backfire, is if that happened. So we are going to win this thing. We are going to win this thing. Let me see. I had this other, right here. This is a great article from Rocky on Liberty Rush. LibertyRush.com. You should go there and set up an account. It is the antidote to Facebook. And Rocky says, they can't stop us from reopening America. We're going to come out of this nightmare whether the Democrats like it or not. The pandemic is already subsiding. America is done with this lockdown nonsense, and the inevitable reopening is coming. It will start out slow, and then it's going to go. We're going to come out of this nightmare whether they like it or not. That's how these things happen, but it won't happen without resistance. The leftist establishment and its media gerbils clearly think that it's in their best interest to have the bat gobbler flu crisis continue indefinitely. They think it hurts Trump. Plus, they really love wielding the power over you. Just look at the dead doll eyes of Governor Karen of Minnesota. Yeah, she's horrible. And you can see that forcing big box stores to tape off the seed section so nobody can plant anything gives her sort of an erotic pleasure. It's kind of creepy. People aren't having any more of this shift. We're done. We could deal with it when it looked like a common sense thing to do, but now it's just getting stupid. Things are getting better, and they're still doubling down on social distancing. Stassi's did things like this. You got police departments tweeting that the protest isn't essential, but apparently being petty is. I got to tell you, I went to the post office this morning to mail a letter. The line was clear out the door, and nobody had a mask on. It was just terrible. But we've seen these protests before. We're going to see more of them, and we're going to see the silent rebellion. After weeks of disconcerting emptiness, the barren freeways of Los Angeles are beginning to fill up with people who are voting with their feet and venturing back outside. While this paralysis may be a fun fest for some loser government workers or other non-essential dorks who for some reason are still getting paychecks, it's a disaster for everyone else. But we're about done with this. We will no longer be the collateral damage for their power trip. I talked to a friend of mine this morning. He has a company, and he said right now we are deemed essential, and we have several projects going. We have to get them done. But he said, I'm having to do it with 25% of my workforce. He said he has members of his workforce that have decided to take this as their opportunity to go on vacation. And so that's what they've done. He said one of them took the whole family and went camping in a national forest. So, and why not? They're going to get their free money. And they're probably still getting a check from his company too. I don't know what he can do about that, but anyway. It doesn't help that Nancy Pelosi's last name is Italian for Antoinette. And she's prancing about on the air with Nimrod late night host in front of her 24 grand dual freezers while she holds up the loans that the country's small business backbone and many of us employees need. Oh yeah, and I got that video for you too. I'm probably going to play that here in a little bit. In fact, let me see if I can get that up since she mentioned it. Nancy Pelosi. Yeah, she did a great video. And in that video, she's bragging about how much ice cream she has. So there, let me see. That's not it. That's not it. Maybe it's here. Yeah, here it is. Right here. I'm going to bring this up for you on this computer. At least I think I am. There, we'll get it. Here we go.
We turn now to that $350 billion fund to help small businesses and its workers get through the shutdown.
It will be up to Congress to restock it.
But Democrats blocking that move this morning.
They asked for $250 billion in 48 hours. I said, well, I don't think so. They objected, and I congratulate the Senate Democrats.
Speaker Pelosi, what are you going to share with us from your home?
Chocolate candy.
Thousands have been forced to wait for hours at food banks all across the country.
This is
Oh, my.
chocolate, and then we have some other chocolate here. We just got to restock the ice cream.
You don't want to eat up everything all at one time.
I can't do it much longer. I'm trying so hard.
We're, shall we say, enjoying.
Having to admit that, yeah, we're starving, and
I like it better than anything else.
Taping this segment, there are 22 million people out of work.
This specific program is about stopping job losses today.
This is hurting people bad.
Other people in our family look for some other flavors, but
Right now, it's survival mode. You don't know where that next something else going to come from.
I don't know what I would have done if ice cream were not invented. I just wonder.
Well, there. I hope you guys enjoyed that. That's Nancy Pelosi. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? That is the kind of crap that we're putting up with here, ladies and gentlemen. And I have a real problem with it. I think Nancy Pelosi needs to be out of office. Anyway, to finish up with this, she said, when you get a pink slip from your boss, you should write a thank you note to Nancy Pelosi because it's her and the rest of the Democrats that are screwing you over. And if there's anything that Donald Trump knows, it's public opinion, and that's why he's championing the reopening of the United States again and soon. Now, me personally, I'm not one of those people who thought it was crazy to react to the Wuhan flu at all. But it is crazy to keep the pangolin fever going on forever. It's time to liberate the USA. The Poles slobbering at a chance to boss us around into 2021 and 2022 better get their heads right. There's not going to be a new normal. It's just going to be normal. And that's what we need to go back to. So we're not going to permanently avoid each other, literally like the plague, wearing those stupid masks forever and never again gather in a group of more than 5 like they're asking us to do. And then Rocky said, I'm personally going to see the Psychedelic Furs, Blondie, and the goth rockers of Bauhaus in September. And that's just how it's going to be. So anyway, I thought that was pretty good. We got on the newsmaker line. Brandon, welcome to the show, sir.
Hey, how's it going, Doc? We need to hand a pink slip to Nancy Pelosi.
That's what needs to happen. Unfortunately, there's only 2 people that can do that. One of them, of course, would be our Attorney General for potentially being treasonous. And the other one would be the people of California, whom she allegedly represents.
Well, I don't think California is going to get rid of her, but I'm sure she's done plenty of underhanded deals and stuff like that that are tossed out of office.
Well, she didn't become fabulously wealthy because of the big paycheck she gets from Congress. I can assure you of that.
Absolutely. You remember the old video whenever the debate was going on between the immigrants, or illegal immigrants, I should say, that were coming up from Mexico, and she was saying, let them stay, etc. And a couple of patriots there in California took a bunch of them up to her mansion there in California.
I remember that, yeah.
Set up tents. We need more people like that to prove the point.
Yeah, and Nancy Pelosi called security and had them escorted off the property, which I don't understand. If you want open borders, wouldn't you want them all at your house?
Yeah, I mean, she's advocating for them, so why not share some of the wealth she has?
That's the way it looks to me. Well,
what's going on, Doc?
Well, we got a big rally coming up on the 25th at the Alamo, and I can't think of a better place to have a rally.
Absolutely, and it's growing every single day. This is Texas Freedom Force, along with Open Carry Texas, are going to host this rally April 25th, which is this Saturday, 3 p.m. at the Alamo Cenotaph. And guys, the end goal of this is we're going to try to capture the national media's attention and to force Dan Patrick to follow up on what Dan Patrick said and put something in writing that states that Cenotaph's not going to go anywhere. Not only that, but we'll be exercising our First and Second Amendment rights while we're out there, and nobody's going to stop us from doing so. Well,
we've got to do something, and I think this is exactly what we should be doing. And of course, we'll be doing a public service there too, won't we? Won't we be handing out some personal protective equipment?
Absolutely. We will be handing out masks. We will be handing out gloves. We'll have hand sanitizer stations located throughout the plaza for anybody to walk up and use. We'll also be wiping down mics and equipment, etc., like that, to make sure that everybody's safe. Now, let me be clear. We are not forcing anybody to wear a mask, and we're not forcing anybody to wear gloves, etc. This is optional, and this is up to each individual. Somebody may want to wear a mask. Somebody may not. It's going to be up to the individuals to do so. But the reason that we are handing out these masks is because under the Mayor Ron Nirenberg's COVID-19 orders, it states that nonprofit organizations are essential as long as they are handing out goods. We're a nonprofit organization, and we'll be handing out goods. Therefore, they can't shut us down on this rally.
Well, I was wondering if maybe we ought to have a drawing or something for a roll of toilet paper. That seems to be a big commodity.
Yeah, I've never understood that, how the coronavirus and toilet paper go hand in hand, but
maybe I'm going to bring my roll of Hillary paper and we'll raffle it off or something.
All right, that sounds good. I will say this, that we did get a phone call I did from the captain here in the San Antonio Police Department yesterday, and he let us know that we should not expect any kind of problems from them. They're not going to try to run us off of the plaza. That doesn't mean too much other than that's his word, because the mayor and Judge Nelson Wolf are on their little COVID-19 talks that they do, and they were absolutely calling all the protesters, not just us, but all of them ignorant. But then they mentioned something about the Alamo rally out there, and Judge Nelson Wolf said that he thought it was absolutely stupid to do that. So in the minds of Texans, in the minds of Judge Nelson Wolf, Texans need to know that exercising your First and Second Amendment rights are stupid when it comes to Judge Nelson Wolf, or at least that's the way he believes.
At least that's the way he looks at it, yeah.
Yes, sir. And I'll also go into detail a little bit one further to show that people should not be afraid to come on out there. Our lawyers are going to be present on site out there, and they've written a nice little letter to the city of San Antonio, and any attempt to try to shut down this rally will be met with a lawsuit slapped against them, and old Mayor Nirenberg and the rest of the city of San Antonio will be making a nice little donation to TITFF and OCT.
I love it. Well, we're coming prepared. Yeah, once again, we're performing an essential function. We will be passing out personal protective gear, so you guys should come out and get some of that. Now, I think you've got an event set up on the This Is Texas Freedom Force page.
Yes, I do. The event's in there, as well as our website on our calendar at txfreedomforce.org. We're going to have a lot of great speakers. Of course, we're having AmazingDocGreen come out and speak on behalf of the Alamo out there. We're going to have Dr. Tim Wesley, who ran for Congressional District 15. This man, the best way to describe it is that this guy he's a Southern Baptist preacher. And this man will preach about the Alamo from up there, and it's a moving speech to hear from him. Weston Martinez, our good friend Weston, is going to be out there. He's going to be speaking. We've got a couple other politicians that I'm waiting for confirmation if they're going to speak, but they did say that they will be in attendance. So we're going to have some pretty high-profile speakers out there for everybody to listen to. It's going to be a great time.
Well, I think that it's incumbent upon all of you guys to be there, and I'm about to put it up here for you to see it. Let me get that up here, and that'll be there on button 5. Yeah, there we have it right there.
Did you happen to catch the article that came out about Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook and all, that he is going to start deleting events while the COVID-19 orders are in effect? And so we have warned all of our people that in case that the event disappears for some reason, we still will be going out there, and we'll also have videos and memes and stuff that will be promoting the event that are just randomly put out there on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and MeWe.
Well, probably a bunch of you guys ought to go ahead and copy that event to your own page too.
Yes. Yes, we have.
And that way, we have that. And that way, should it disappear, you can create your own events on your own pages, because some of you guys got lots of followers. And I've got 2 pages with about 5,000 each, and I put it on both pages. So.
Yes, and we're asking, please share. I mean, right now we're expecting in between 100 to 200 people, and we would like to get that number up there closer to 500, because no better message would be sent to not only the governor and the lieutenant governor, but all the politicians across Texas, is to have 500 Texans standing out there in that plaza, letting them know that we voted on the Senate tap and said, do not move it, and to reopen Texas up. Let the people exercise their First and Second Amendments. That mask that you're wearing around, don't let it become a muzzle.
Yes. So I reshared that again to the 15,000 people that have liked the Right Side of the Mic page as well. So we want to get a good crowd. Remember this, guys. Nobody arrest a battalion, as Tommy Attaway has said many times. And if we got a battalion out there, nobody's going to arrest us. I noticed at the big meeting up in Austin on Saturday, well, we had a big meeting on Thursday. We only had maybe 150 people at that first meeting. But on Saturday, it had closer to 500 people. And they didn't arrest anybody, Brandon.
No. And in fact, at the rally you and I were at on Thursday, I went up and spoke to Austin Police Department as well as the Travis County officers and asked them, okay, guys, we've read a lot online that says that this is what the orders are here in Austin. Tell us what's the real deal. And they said that, that you didn't have to wear a mask. You don't have to wear any kind of other protective gear if you don't want to. It is simply up to your discretion, and they're not going to enforce that law simply because it's unconstitutional to force people to do so.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, we've got it going on over there. We hope you're going to be there. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That means, and it's on a Saturday, that means you can sleep till 10 or 11 in the morning and still get up, put gas in your car, and make it over to the Alamo. And
absolutely,
and share a ride. We want to be fiscally conservative. So try if you get 3 or 4 people in your car, it'd be really good. And that'll save on parking too.
And if you're looking for a ride, we put up a post on the event itself. It's in the discussion part of the event that says that if you can offer a ride from a certain location, to post down there that you're offering a ride, or if you need a ride, post that from that location. And we've already seen several Patriots that have stepped up and are picking people up from Houston and in Dallas and bringing them down into San Antonio for this rally.
So there you have it, guys. We're gonna go up there. We're gonna have a good fun time. I think I still got a couple of seats left in my bus. So
all right.
So we want to get as many people there as possible. And 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon, the 25th. Today is April the 21st. So this is going to be April the 25th, 2020, because some of these shows are around for years, 2020. And we're going to ask all of you guys to get out there. There will be some great, inspiring speeches made. But the main event, the main thing we're coming out there for is we're going to be together and stand together, shoulder to shoulder. That's the main reason. Well, 6 feet apart. I would hate to. I don't want to cause any riots or anything. But
we just want to keep the media focused on the right message that we're trying to send out there, and the message is spreading. I will tell you this: that we had a company contact us that has been shut down. Obviously, they rent video equipment. They contacted us because they haven't been able to do business with anybody. And therefore, they have volunteered to come out and set up a professional PA system out on location. They will break down the professional PA system, and all we're doing is we're making a nice little donation. We're not doing any transactions, but we're making a donation to their business for helping us out in this cause.
Well, I think that is wonderful. Maybe I ought to throw in my guitar or something. That sounds like fun.
Whatever sure you wouldn't like, Doc. I was going to get you to come out there and play, but I didn't know if all the band could come out or not. So.
Well, I'll have a palaver with the rhythm section at least, and might be fun. So anyway, guys, this is it. It's going to be a big party, and we're going to be out there 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We'll be done probably before 6 o'clock, so all of you can still make it home by night time. You won't miss any sleep, and come on out there. And there are probably some really great Mexican restaurants that'll still serve food at arm's length, so you can still get some good food too. And San Antonio, my experience, has some of the best Mexican food in the state of Texas.
Yes, they do. And in the worst case scenario, then we can congregate in the parking lot somewhere and grab food and have them deliver it right out to us and enjoy it.
Yeah, 6 feet apart, but
we're going to have a lot of fun out there this weekend. I can tell you that. This is going to be one of the bigger events, and to get the national media's attention, which they have been calling us on a regular basis here for about the last 3 or 4 days, asking us about this event, because obviously the news is slow, and so therefore they're covering these protests nationally. But whenever they heard that there was going to be a protest at the Alamo, and we had a considerable amount of people coming out to this rally, they really got interested, and so we expect some of the national media to be in attendance.
Well, I am looking forward to that. And Georgie P.P. Bush, he is so excited about this rally. And he's just glad that we're bringing some publicity to all the wonderful things she's doing at the Alamo, like tearing down the cenotaph. And then what did I read yesterday? Now they're deciding how they're going to stack up the bodies that they're finding and warehouse those for the next 10 years so that they can continue doing their dig. That's right. They're digging up the cemetery, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Some people would say that would be wrong, but not George P. Bush. Oh, no, he thinks it's very cool.
We've never had any reverence, when I say the city of San Antonio and George P. Bush, for the Alamo itself. And we can show proof of that. Back when the Final Four came into San Antonio, we took pictures of the stages that were built right up in front of the Alamo. There were trash bags that were piled about chest high on me and on 6'4" that were sitting on the actual Alamo footprint. They had basketball hoops set up in front of the chapel, etc. This is not something that you do to a spot of reverence somewhere, our Alamo defenders' blood soaked the ground. You don't do stuff like that. And so they've never have had a reverence for the site. To them, it's all about a money-making adventure, and most of them have already pocketed a lot of this money, and that's why they want to keep moving forward on this project, despite the fact that Texans are telling them to back off.
Yes, including our lieutenant governor, who has now issued 2 statements on that. And then we've had at least 2, maybe 3 state reps that have written letters.
Are you there, Doc?
Yeah, I'm still here. Can you hear me? I may have lost Brandon. But we've had at least 2 state reps that I've talked to, Kyle Biederman and Steve Toth. And both Kyle Biederman and Steve Toth have written letters to this effect. The governor, lieutenant governor, twice has come out and said stuff. Of course, our illustrious spine of linguine governor hasn't said anything about this because he just wants to get his share of the pot. He doesn't care about the Alamo. He's not a real Texan, and I don't know. I'm fed up with a whole bunch of them. On that note, we're going to hit this break, and we're going to be right back on Right Side of the Mic.
Join us in the chat on YouTube and Facebook.
I'm Joe Dana. As your candidate for Harris County Sheriff, I bring 25 years experience in law enforcement. As a conservative, I am committed to lead and manage the office with integrity, transparency, and accountability. I will preserve and protect the Constitution and the laws of Texas. It's time to restore trust in the sheriff's office. Please follow our campaign at danaforsheriff.com. Thank you, and may God bless you all.
Hey, Barry the Music Man here for Tejas Smoke Depot. They have everything you need when it comes to smoke. Check out the 150 square foot walk-in humidor filled with a huge selection of fine cigars. Or give them a call at 830-990-1472 and order up what you want. Maybe you'd like to roll your own. They have it. Maybe you need a gift for a smoker in the family. How about a new pipe? They have a large selection, even a cross-section of great beers in stock. In a hurry, come by and use the drive-thru. Located at 1639 West Highway 290 in Fredericksburg, Texas. Out of town? Visit them at the website, TejasSmokeDepot.com, or call 830-990-1472. That's 830-990-1472. It's smoking.
Hello, everybody. My name is Raul Reyes, and I'm running for Congress in Congressional District 23. I am a Trump Republican. I'm from the great city of Del Rio, Texas, born and raised on the border. I'm a retired lieutenant colonel, formerly a vice president of a junior college in Uvalde, Texas. I am a Trump supporter. I believe in America, and we need to put America in District 23 first. We need to secure the border, folks. We have illegal mass migration, and it has to stop. I'm pro-life, and I'm going to defend your religious freedom all the way through my tenure in Congress. I'm for the Second Amendment. No more infringements on our rights to defend ourselves in this great country. And I support our veterans. Being a veteran myself, I fully understand the issues and the problems that we have with the VA medical care system. I'm here to change that. With your support, we can get the care that our veterans need. God bless Texas and God bless America. I'm Raul Reyes, and I approve this message.
Paid for by the Raul Reyes for Congress Committee.
Joe Biden promised Ukraine $1 billion if they fired the prosecutor investigating his son's company.
If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Oh, son of a bitch. Got fired.
But when President Trump asks Ukraine to investigate corruption, the Democrats want to impeach him, and their media lapdogs fall in line. They lost the election. Now they want to steal this one. Don't let them.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
You never want a serious crisis to go to waste. And what I mean by that, it's an opportunity to do things that you think you could not do before.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
One of the premier property management companies in Texas, providing below market rates with above market amenities and service. Hartman has owned and operated commercial office properties since 1983, offering premium office space at an affordable price by saving businesses a significant amount of money by keeping taxes, utilities, and maintenance low. With over 30 years in commercial leasing in Houston, San Antonio, and Dallas, we have learned exactly what our customers require.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Managed on Christian principles with a strong dedication to community benevolence. Whether you need 1,000 or 10,000 square foot of office space, Hartman has that space in one of nearly 50 Texas locations.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Energy efficient buildings, customer friendly experts, supporters of conservative causes. A Texas-owned and operated business for 30 years. A proud corporate sponsor of RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Visit Hartman online, hi-REIT.com. Call 800-880-2212 or click the ad on RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
Doc says all the best words start with P. Prudence is a good word. Airlines will always say, put your own mask on first, then help your loved ones. Prudence means making sure that your family food supply is secure. Most stores have at best a 72-hour supply of food, and if something goes wrong, resupply will not happen quickly. You should have at least a 90-day supply of your favorites because it will allow you to weather the worst crisis and make plans for the future. The answer is NewManna.com. NUMANNA. New Manna is not just food storage, but really tasty food that you will enjoy eating. New Manna food is designed to last for 25 years, but many people enjoy it several times a week. Now is the time to lay in a supply of tasty New Manna food for your family. Be prepared and know your family is safe. Go to newmanna.com right now for fast delivery. That's newmana.com.
Like the sounds of cannons on the horizon, please return with me to the Amazing Doc Green Show, because I like things that go kaboom.
And we're back, and not only are we back, but we have on the Newsmaker History Line, we got Tommy Attaway. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Doc. Well, of course, I'm making plans for a weekend visit to San Antonio.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a little party over there this coming Saturday at 3 o'clock, and it's going to be fun, and you should be speaking at that event.
Nobody's interested in what I have to say. I'm just a crazy guy.
I think everybody on this channel is interested in what you have to say. And also, you guys see the books that I have up there, those of you watching on TV. We Defy and Independence. And I recommend that you get both of those books as soon as possible before you can't get them anymore. And I've seen a couple of them out there. I did see one of those on eBay, though. It's going for like several $100s. So I guess they're getting rare.
That's probably like the first edition hardback or something. Those are tough to come by.
So, might even be autographed. Who knows? But anyway, get yours while you still can. Of course, Kindle edition is practically free, so you can get that and start reading it today. It's required reading here on Doc Green Show, right side of the mic. So, Captain Attaway, I'm handing over the con to you.
Well, by request, we're going to tell the story of Master Sergeant John Chapman, United States Air Force.
All right. I'm looking forward to this.
Okay. The story from our point of view really begins in 1985. John Chapman, fairly popular guy in high school, played soccer, sports guy. Gone off to college, wasn't really happy with it, and then told his dad that, he's thinking about joining the Air Force. And since his dad had been in the Air Force previously, he said, well, I think that's a pretty good idea. And John said, I'm glad you approve since I've already enlisted.
Yeah, okay. That's a done deal, pal.
Yeah, it's a done deal. And Mom says, I'd really rather that you do something safe. And, this is like 1985, and so, we still have a little bit of Cold War going on. And so
I was an airman. It was fairly safe.
Yeah, but he decides he's going to do a safe job in the Air Force, and so he's an information systems guy, getting in on the early days of computers.
Okay.
But he wasn't happy with that. So in 1989, he volunteers to become a combat controller. Okay, and for those of you who don't speak Air Force, and, it's not really my thing either, but combat controllers are part of the Air Force Special Operations community, along with pararescue and some of the tactical air guys. And what combat controllers do, it's a very interesting course of instruction and job, because well, let's go through the training regimen. Well, obviously, okay, you join the Air Force and go hang out at Lackland Air Force Base for your basic training. And then if you volunteer for the combat control course, they then separate you off 2 weeks after that and see basically if you're a slug or if you're a physically fit individual.
Mm-hmm.
And if you survive that, then you go to the next 15-week course. And so you start air navigation, weather things, traffic control, flight operations, communication procedures. And by the way, by the time you get done with all of your combat controller training, you're going to be a FAA certified air traffic controller, among other things.
Wow.
Then you go to visit beautiful Fort Benning, Georgia for the Army Airborne course of instruction.
That's pretty extensive training at this point.
And after you make it through that, then the Air Force takes you back and sends you to the Air Force Basic Survival School.
Ooh.
Okay, along with the other pararescue guys, pilots,
attack controllers and whatnot. And of course, that is a little bit more challenging. And then finally, they have the last phase in the pipeline, which is the combat control school. And so after this, you're actually taught a lot of military skills, land navigation, communications, some basic small unit tactics from the Air Force point of view. And then you go to Hurlburt Field. And for those of you who are familiar with special operations, Hurlburt Field is basically where a lot of secret operations originate from, in beautiful Florida down toward the Keys.
Yep.
And so
used to fly F-4s out of there.
Yeah, the Air Force Special Operations Command. And so now we get into what combat controllers really do. Combat controllers are the personnel that the Air Force sends to Army Special Forces teams, Navy SEAL teams, and Marine Force Recon teams for coordination with the Air Force.
Now, I'm an airman. I didn't know any of this stuff.
So whenever you send a Special Forces A team out into the middle of nowhere, there's at least a 50% chance an Air Force combat control airman is along with that team.
Wow.
So now we get into John Chapman and the global war on terror. So, of course, he's now been in the Air Force some 15 years, and we're now going to go to March of 2002 in Afghanistan.
Okay.
Okay. U.S. forces are conducting offensive operations along the southern mountains. And as part of this operation, a Navy SEAL team is tasked with establishing an observation point at the peak of a mountain called Tue Apr, and it's at about 11,000 feet plus.
Wow. And
they have an Air Force combat controller assigned to the SEAL team, who's John Chapman.
I assume his mom doesn't have any clue about what he's doing in the Air Force at this point.
No. She said, "Are you doing something dangerous?" And he kind of said, "Well, yeah."
Yeah, I think so. The most dangerous thing I ever had to do in the Air Force was walk underneath an F-4 when I was starting it up, and I was always worried about them dropping the tail hook on me. That's as dangerous as it got for me.
Well, everybody kind of knows, war on terror stuff. It's kind of hard to be in the military and kind of not be involved in some way.
Yes.
So anyway, 7 SEAL team members and John Chapman are aboard a MH-47 Chinook helicopter, and it's going to take Chapman and the SEALs to Tue Apr, but they took off late, and as a result, the chief petty officer in charge of the SEAL team decides that they ought to fly directly to the objective and land on it.
Wow.
Unknown and kind of underappreciated by everybody was the amount of Taliban resistance in the area. And as the helicopter approaches the objective, it comes under fire from heavy machine guns, rocket-propelled grenades, and the helicopter is hit. And as the pilots are trying to get control of the helicopter, there's a tragic accident where one of the SEAL team members is ejected from the helicopter. So the pilots are now trying to control, crash land the helicopter. And they do.
That means smash it into the ground with the least amount of force possible.
Yeah, but as one of the pilots said, Chapman said, I've hit harder. So now the SEAL team commander now has a problem in that, he has a missing man, and he's got an objective he's trying to reach, and they're somewhat farther away from it than they'd like it to be. and they're in heavy snow, and they start working toward the objective.
Mm-hmm.
One of the problems, of course, is now they're under heavy fire. They've got a helicopter crew that they're trying to protect. They're also trying to reach an objective and recover a missing SEAL team member. So things have gone bad, and they've gone really bad very early into the mission.
Wow.
Well, it turns out that SEAL team leader decides that they can't make it to the SEAL and see if he's dead or alive. The resistance is too heavy from the Taliban up near the objective at the mountain peak. And he decides that, they're going to have to withdraw and try and, effect a rescue and get out and retry. In the process of all of this, Chapman covers the withdrawal of the SEAL team and is wounded, and he's not moving anymore, and the SEAL team leader assumes that Chapman has died as well as the missing SEAL.
Wow.
Another helicopter comes in, picks up the survivors, and then tries. They're now overloaded, and that they can't get the SEAL team to the objective. So they drop off the helicopter crew from the crashed helicopter back at base, and then return to the mountaintop.
All right.
They land back at the mountaintop, and they can't find the missing SEAL. And what has happened now is that they start to get onto the objective. The objective is too heavily defended, and they decide that they're going to have to retreat, and leaving the bodies of both the SEAL team member that fell out and Chapman to be recovered later.
Wow. This is
And
something
because,
they don't do unless they're under extreme duress.
Under extreme duress. And so ordinarily the story would have ended there because Chapman had covered the withdrawal of the SEAL team and lost his life in the process. He was awarded posthumously the Air Force Cross, which is the second highest award in the Air Force. And normally that would have been the end of the story right there. But
We have
there's more.
the rest of the story.
Now the rest of the story. Later in 2016, the SEALs are under a lot of flack from the bureaucracy because they're a little bit undisciplined, doing things unconventionally. You see some of the Eddie Gallagher stuff, some of the things. And there's a leaker in the Pentagon.
Uh-oh.
Because unknown to any of the SEALs involved, the actions that day were recorded by a CIA Predator drone in service of the CIA. And also there was some footage taken from an Air Force AC-130 gunship of the action. And now we have the rest of the story because it got leaked.
Uh-oh.
Chapman was not killed in the initial assault on the objective. He had lost consciousness and later came to, proceeded to attack and clear a bunker of Taliban, and then used that as his own defensive position to where he fought off single-handedly repeated counterattacks from the Taliban.
Wow.
And he was there in the bunker as the rescue force that was then going to take the objective of Army Rangers was approaching the site. Chapman provided covering fire for the helicopter to land for the Army Rangers, and in the process of providing that covering fire was again shot repeatedly and killed in action. And all of this was recorded live by drones.
Wow.
And was then leaked out on the internet. This, of course, now made the Navy look really bad because it looked like a Navy SEAL team had abandoned a SEAL who was shown on video being dragged away by the Taliban, and they were attempting to decapitate him when Chapman intervened.
Whoa.
It also, of course, shows Chapman coming to, assaulting the bunker, fighting off the Taliban, and providing covering fire for the landing helicopter for the Army Rangers. So not only that, but the SEALs left their combat controller behind and didn't bother to check and see if he was really dead or not.
Wow.
The Secretary of the Air Force decided to release the video and recommend that Chapman be upgraded to the Medal of Honor.
I was sitting there thinking the same thing. This should have been Medal of Honor stuff.
The Navy objected and instead awarded the Medal of Honor to the SEAL team commander.
Who abandoned ship, so to speak?
It could be construed that way. Or, of course, you can be more charitable and say, you know, you're in heavy action. You had to make a combat decision, one of those hard decisions that leaders have to make, and he did. But, of course, leaving people behind is not exactly what we consider to be in the highest and finest traditions of the armed forces of the United States.
Yes, well, indeed, no man left behind has always been the motto.
Well, maybe, you can't even argue that only applies to SEALs since they left one of them behind, too.
Yeah.
So anyway, the Secretary of the Air Force, I've got to give her credit for this, prevailed, and Chapman was awarded the Medal of Honor and promoted to Master Sergeant.
Posthumously, unfortunately.
Yes. And, of course, one of the things that's unique about this is now that the video is out there on the Internet, you can actually look for it yourself. Medal of Honor video or Caught Live, usually brings it up, and you can watch the actions yourself. But one of the things that certainly does come out of this is that the actions of Master Sergeant John Chapman are in the highest traditions of the United States Air Force and the Armed Forces of the United States, and is deserving of every honor which he has received, and is certainly one of the members in our panoply of heroes in the history of the United States.
I'm reminded of a speech that you gave a few years back called Preparing for Greatness, and I think this is one of those guys that was prepared for greatness.
Certainly. And when he was called to greatness on that day in March of 2002, he more than answered the challenge. And who knows, if somebody's dumb enough to let me speak on Saturday, we might hear a little bit more about preparing ourselves for greatness and being ready for that day when we're called.
Indeed, in the chat, while you were giving us this little dissertation, you have been invited to speak on Saturday, officially.
So then I guess I have to be there.
So you have to be there because I always enjoy your talks, and you do a lot of them. And I'm very much looking forward to not only seeing you but hearing you on Saturday at the Alamo at 3:00.
I will be there.
All right, guys. Now you got something to look forward to. Hello, Shandon Fan. Nice to see you. He ran for Congress. Didn't make it this time, but maybe next time. And Angie said, see you Saturday. So we love Angie here. And Jim Monk from the other side of the pond, as he were. So glad to have you, sir. We're going to be right back on right side of the mic, guys.
Join us in the chat on YouTube and Facebook.
Doc says all the best words start with P. Prudence is a good word. Airlines will always say, put your own mask on first, then help your loved ones. Prudence means making sure that your family food supply is secure. Most stores have at best a 72-hour supply of food, and if something goes wrong, resupply will not happen quickly. You should have at least a 90-day supply of your favorites because it will allow you to weather the worst crisis and make plans for the future. The answer is newmanna.com. N-U-M-A-N-N-A. New Manna is not just food storage, but really tasty food that you will enjoy eating. New Manna food is designed to last for 25 years, but many people enjoy it several times a week. Now is the time to lay in a supply of tasty New Manna food for your family. Be prepared and know your family is safe. Go to newmanna.com right now for fast delivery. That's newmanna.com.
I'm Joe Dana. As your candidate for Harris County Sheriff, I bring 25 years experience in law enforcement. As a conservative, I am committed to lead and manage the office with integrity, transparency, and accountability. I will preserve and protect the Constitution and the laws of Texas. It's time to restore trust in the Sheriff's Office. Please follow our campaign at danaforsheriff.com. Thank you, and may God bless you all.
Hello, everybody. My name is Raul Reyes, and I'm running for Congress in Congressional District 23. I am a Trump Republican. I'm from the great city of Del Rio, Texas, born and raised on the border. I'm a retired lieutenant colonel, formerly a vice president of a junior college in Uvalde, Texas. I am a Trump supporter. I believe in America, and we need to put America in District 23 first. We need to secure the border, folks. We have illegal mass migration, and it has to stop. I'm pro-life, and I'm going to defend your religious freedom all the way through my tenure in Congress. I'm for the Second Amendment. No more infringements on our rights to defend ourselves in this great country. And I support our veterans. Being a veteran myself, I fully understand the issues and the problems that we have with the VA medical care system. I'm here to change that. With your support, we can get the care that our veterans need. God bless Texas and God bless America. I'm Raul Reyes, and I approve this message.
Paid for by the Raul Reyes for Congress Committee.
Joe Biden promised Ukraine $1 billion if they fired the prosecutor investigating his son's company.
If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Oh, son of a bitch. Got fired.
But when President Trump asks Ukraine to investigate corruption, the Democrats want to impeach him, and their media lapdogs fall in line. They lost the election. Now they want to steal this one. Don't let them.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
You never want a serious crisis to go to waste. And what I mean by that, it's an opportunity to do things that you think you could not do before.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
One of the premier property management companies in Texas, providing below-market rates with above-market amenities and service. Hartman has owned and operated commercial office properties since 1983, offering premium office space at an affordable price by saving businesses a significant amount of money by keeping taxes, utilities, and maintenance low. With over 30 years in commercial leasing in Houston, San Antonio, and Dallas, we have learned exactly what our customers require.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Managed on Christian principles with a strong dedication to community benevolence. Whether you need 1,000 or 10,000 square foot of office space, Hartman has that space in one of nearly 50 Texas locations.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Energy-efficient buildings, customer-friendly experts, supporters of conservative causes. A Texas-owned and operated business for 30 years. A proud corporate sponsor of RagingElephantRadio.com.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Visit Hartman online, hi-REIT.com. Call 800-880-2212 or click the ad on RagingElephantRadio.com.
Hey, Barry the Music Man here for Tejas Smoke Depot. They have everything you need when it comes to smoke. Check out the 150 square foot walk-in humidor filled with a huge selection of fine cigars. Or give them a call at 830-990-1472 and order up what you want. Maybe you like to roll your own. They have it. Maybe you need a gift for a smoker in the family. How about a new pipe? They have a large selection, even a cross-section of great beers in stock. In a hurry, come by and use the drive-thru. Located at 1639 West Highway 290 in Fredericksburg, Texas. Out of town? Visit them at the website, TejasSmokeDepot.com, or call 830-990-1472. That's 830-990-1472. It's smoking.
Please return to the Doc Green Show. This is Marvin the Martian. When you miss it, you make me very, very angry.
Yeah, once again, welcome to everybody, especially our new listeners, including our new listeners over there in jolly old England. The American Communist Lying Union is suing Idaho because Idaho passed a ridiculous law, at least that's what they say. And this law it's just horrible. It says that if you're going to participate in female sports, you first have to be a female. Yeah, that's what the rule says. It says boys that want to pretend to be girls cannot participate. They have made the decision that if you can get one of the others pregnant, then therefore you must not be a girl. So Idaho's Fairness in Women's Sports Act made the state the first to ban male students, mentally ill male students, from participating in all female sports. And, of course, the ACLU is doing exactly what you would expect them to do. The ACLU said when Governor Little signed a law to ban sexually confused men or sexually pretending men from competing directly against the weaker vessel, he said that trans people do not deserve the benefits of sports available to their peers. He is totally wrong. Well, no. I want every boy that thinks he's a girl to be able to participate in boys' sports. And, you know, if you're a boy and you think you're a girl, you'll probably get your butt handed to you. But anyway, if you're going to participate in sports, pick on someone your own size, pal. Anyway, one Twitter user corrected the ACLU. They said, no, he sent a message that gender identity is not a sports category. Sex is, and as such, the protected female sports category is only open to athletes who are biologically female and adhere to the proper doping rules. So if you're a boy and you're taking female hormones, that is doping. That's what it is. It's doping. So all they're simply doing is they want to hold all of the students to the same standard. So anyway, the Washington Free Beacon reported that the ACLU sued on behalf of a boy that thinks he's a girl, at least pretending to be one, a Mr. Hecox. And they said the university track runner named Lindsay Hecox and Boise High School student who is not transgender but said that he's worried that the government might invade his privacy to verify his sex. The law is scheduled to take effect on July the 1st. Gabriel Arkels, a lawyer for sexually confused activists, told the Free Beacon that biological sex does not matter. It's what you think you are that counts. And says this should be the standard for all school sports. The only problem is boys participating in school sports tend to hurt the girls. Yeah. And that's why we have girl sports, because we don't want the boys hurting the girls. We want the girls to be able to compete with other girls. And I think that's only reasonable, don't you? One of the problems we have once we've given in to mental illness, the farther away you get from biblical truth, the truer this becomes. According to a former government official, transgender men have been raping the staff in women's prison. Prison official warning that male prisoners who identify as females have been raping females in prison, getting them pregnant. He said men should not be given access to women's facilities. The important thing, I think, though, is that the rights of women to feel safe should trump the rights of someone who is obviously a man but is trying to pretend to be a woman from getting into that space. Gentleman said he was a prison minister from 2018 to 2019. They probably kicked him out. Said there were situations where male prisoners pretending to be women were then raping the staff. So anyway, his claim will fuel the questions about the policies that have allowed criminals who are biologically male to then describe themselves as female and demand access to the females. It's estimated that 1,500 men identify as women in the prison system. Francis Cook, chief executive of the Howard League for Penal Reform, said it would be appalling if people who have been convicted of sex offenses or offenses against women then say they're females and get access to women's prison. Now, of course, we had the same problem right here in Houston, Texas. We had two men pretending to be women, both of whom had raped boys. One had raped multiple boys, and one had raped only one boy that he was convicted of. But they're pretending to be women. Changed their name, changed their picture on their driver's license. Help me, Jesus. The Daily Mail noted that it's the first time to publicly reference trans women, that is, men pretending to be women, assaulting other women in the women's prison. It follows warnings that allowing men who are pretending to be women and putting them in the women's prison is actually putting these women in danger. For instance, a guy named Steve Wood, goes by the name of Karen, was allowed into the women's prison even though he had been convicted of not one, not two, but multiple rapes. He had raped a number of women, and then after they put him in prison, guess what? He raped more women. Now, you got to ask yourself, do the women who are in prison have any rights? Is it fair to put them in harm's way so that they can coddle this mentally ill individual? I'm asking you because I don't know. I say it's wrong. What do you guys say? I'll check the chat room here in a minute. Let me see. Oh, yeah. And then you get this. This is out of the UK. But a website promoted by the government healthcare system in Scotland, touted as a safe space for teenagers to learn about sex, is condoning child rape. The age of consent in England is 16, yet the website advised a 14-year-old girl who was considering a relationship with a 16-year-old boy that if the act was consensual, it shouldn't be a problem. So in other words, if the 16-year-old boy wants to have sex with his child, it's okay. So they're calling for an urgent review of the website because that's technically encouraging statutory rape. That is, rape according to statute. It's not like violent rape where there was no consent. The advice given on this site, available for any child to see, is highly irresponsible, said Simon Calvert, the Institute's Deputy Director for Public Affairs. The age of consent law exists because children under 16 are not considered capable of giving informed consent. It is a reckless act if underage sex is normalized, and then we send this message to other children who visit the website. The website's writers also responded to a 15-year-old who asked about having sex with an 18-year-old. And they said, if you become sexually intimate together, then the 18-year-old will be breaking the law, although you did consent and are not being pressured into it. It's unlikely that anyone will actually pursue legal matters. The site is called Cool to Talk, targets people between 12 and 26. The site was set up in 2005 as a safe space, but the Institute has raised concerns that much of the content is not safe for younger visitors, and it also tends to undermine the law on consent. Conservative member of the Scottish Parliament, Murdo Fraser, also had concerns. He said all advice on sexual matters, which is directed at those under the age of consent, would be age appropriate. Some of what is on the website would appear to not meet the test, however, and could be seen as condoning adult-child sex. And it's reckless to act as if underage sex is normal and then send this message to other children. This site is run by the National Health Service of Britain, and it explains how to access contraception and how to be able to set up an abortion and have it paid for by someone else without your parents knowing. Oh, man, I wonder what Mr. Monk thinks about that. This is insane. Yeah, Brandon said, what a crazy world we live. Oh, Jim said, look at Fallon Fox. He ended up fighting in women's martial arts. He broke a woman's skull in one of his fights. My God. Well, see, that's what I'm saying. The girls get hurt because these guys are stronger. Yeah, he said 100% wrong. Yes, it is 100% wrong. What a tangled web we weave. The farther away we get from biblical prescriptions for life, the more difficult it is to maintain any sense of sanity. Child sex is not normal. What Joe Biden does to little girls is not normal. And yet he's continuing to be touted as the best candidate for president. He's already reached out to Michelle Obama, Big Mike as we know him, and that's who he says he wants for his running mate. But Michelle, or Big Mike, has so far resisted his advances. And I think this is probably because Andrew Cuomo, the New York governor, is going to be the choice of the Democrats. I believe they're going to have a brokered convention, and they're going to make that decision. Jim said, our Scottish National Party, the SNP, are just a shower of politically correct morons. Thank you. I appreciate that because I would agree with you. And you know what? It's no different than all the Democrats over here and half the Republicans. I happen to be a Republican, but I can assure you that we have way too many Democrats in the Republican Party, and they're a bunch of maroons too. So we'd like to see that get fixed. Joe Biden. It's not fair to make fun of Joe. It's really not. David Roots has compiled another of his Supercuts videos for the Washington Free Beacon. In the compilation below, Roots gives us 1 minute of Joe Biden staring at his notes. Biden only has a few talking points, but be damned if he can remember them. He can remember to look down at his notes, however, so there is that. Roots strikes a plaintive note. He said Biden is in desperate need of a teleprompter for his Delaware coronavirus bunker. In interview after interview, the presumptive Democrat nominee is forced to check his notes as he searches for answers. And, well, we're all searching for answers. So,
too harsh of a criticism.
I think that's a little too harsh. I spent this morning talking to the docs that used to work with. We did it. We have to make our democracy testing. It's about testing, tracing, and treatment. Numbers, we have to do at least several things. One, we have to depend on what the president's getting used to. But it amazes me that everybody is, tuning in. And I think you've made, if I am the nominee, which it looks like now, you just made me. If there was allocating responsibility that have to be done. There's during World War II, and first of all, he has to wait till the cases before anyone leveled out yet. And, there are places. Well, I've learned a long time ago, I think that one of the things that is wrong.
He's sitting there looking at his notes the whole time, and he's still having a hard time getting the idea across, guys. So, anyway, on that note, I'm going to hit this break. We're going to be right back. I got a lot of more for you, so don't go away. Like and share, like and share, like and share. If you're watching this on YouTube and you've stuck with me for this long, please click on the subscribe button, and I'd appreciate it. And by the way, if you click on that and you send me an email, doc at at RagingElephantRadio.com, Doc at RagingElephantRadio.com. I'll send you a genuine solid gold Texas penny. That's 1 full ounce of real copper, not copper plated. So we'll be right back on Right Side of the Mic.
Join us in the chat on YouTube and Facebook.
Doc says all the best words start with P. Prudence is a good word. Airlines will always say, put your own mask on first, then help your loved ones. Prudence means making sure that your family food supply is secure. Most stores have at best a 72-hour supply of food, and if something goes wrong, resupply will not happen quickly. You should have at least a 90-day supply of your favorites because it will allow you to weather the worst crisis and make plans for the future. The answer is NewManna.com. NUMANNA. New Manna is not just food storage, but really tasty food that you will enjoy eating. New Manna food is designed to last for 25 years, but many people enjoy it several times a week. Now is the time to lay in a supply of tasty New Manna food for your family. Be prepared and know your family is safe. Go to newmanna.com right now for fast delivery. That's newmanna.com.
I'm Joe Dana. As your candidate for Harris County Sheriff, I bring 25 years experience in law enforcement. As a conservative, I am committed to lead and manage the office with integrity, transparency, and accountability. I will preserve and protect the Constitution and the laws of Texas. It's time to restore trust in the Sheriff's Office. Please follow our campaign at danaforsheriff.com. Thank you, and may God bless you all.
Hello, everybody. My name is Raul Reyes, and I'm running for Congress in Congressional District 23. I am a Trump Republican. I'm from the great city of Del Rio, Texas, born and raised on the border. I'm a retired lieutenant colonel, formerly a vice president of a junior college in Uvalde, Texas. I am a Trump supporter. I believe in America, and we need to put America in District 23 first. We need to secure the border, folks. We have illegal mass migration, and it has to stop. I'm pro-life, and I'm going to defend your religious freedom all the way through my tenure in Congress. I'm for the Second Amendment. No more infringements on our rights to defend ourselves in this great country. And I support our veterans. Being a veteran myself, I fully understand the issues and the problems that we have with the VA medical care system. I'm here to change that. With your support, we can get the care that our veterans need. God bless Texas and God bless America. I'm Raul Reyes, and I approve this message.
Paid for by the Raul Reyes for Congress Committee.
Joe Biden promised Ukraine $1 billion if they fired the prosecutor investigating his son's company.
If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Oh, son of a bitch. Got fired.
But when President Trump asks Ukraine to investigate corruption, the Democrats want to impeach him, and their media lapdogs fall in line. They lost the election. Now they want to steal this one. Don't let them.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
You never want a serious crisis to go to waste. And what I mean by that, it's an opportunity to do things that you think you could not do before.
One of the premier property management companies in Texas, providing below market rates with above market amenities and service. Hartman has owned and operated commercial office properties since 1983, offering premium office space at an affordable price by saving businesses a significant amount of money by keeping taxes, utilities, and maintenance low. With over 30 years in commercial leasing in Houston, San Antonio, and Dallas, we have learned exactly what our customers require.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Managed on Christian principles with a strong dedication to community benevolence. Whether you need 1,000 or 10,000 square foot of office space, Hartman has that space in one of nearly 50 Texas locations.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Energy efficient buildings, customer friendly experts, supporters of conservative causes. A Texas owned and operated business for 30 years. A proud corporate sponsor of RagingElephantRadio.com.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Visit Hartman online, hi-REIT.com. Call 800-880-2212 or click the ad on RagingElephantRadio.com.
Hey, Barry the Music Man here for Tejas Smoke Depot. They have everything you need when it comes to smoke. Check out the 150 square foot walk-in humidor filled with a huge selection of fine cigars, or give them a call at 830-990-1472 and order up what you want. Maybe you like to roll your own. They have it. Maybe you need a gift for a smoker in the family. How about a new pipe? They have a large selection, even a cross-section of great beers in stock. In a hurry, come by and use the drive-thru. Located at 1639 West Highway 290 in Fredericksburg, Texas. Out of town? Visit them at the website, TejasSmokeDepot.com, or call 830-990-1472. That's 830-990-1472. It's smoking.
Please return to the Doc Green Show. This is Marvin the Martian. When you miss it, you make me very, very angry.
And we're back on the show, and I'm just sending a little message here to Frank. So, in the tyranny section, this couple, of course, bored as hell because they're stuck at home. They can't do anything, so they decide to post some pictures of their last vacation on Facebook. Jazz and Gary Mott, they decided to post pictures of the vacation they took last year on Facebook. Well, it didn't take long for word to get out to the cops because the couple was seen in these exotic locations having a good time. And so immediately the cops showed up. Yesterday, New York Mayor Bill de Blasio asked citizens to snitch on each other and put up a phone number. I understand the phone number has been taken down because they were getting an overwhelming number of inappropriate photographs. Yeah, dick pics. That's what was happening, and so they had to shut it down. But anyway, that's what Bill de Blasio did. He told New Yorkers in a video that you need to snitch on your neighbors. It's as easy as taking a photo, tag the location, and send it right into law enforcement. Here we have a society that's allowed our elected officials to take the Wuhan lockdown measures too far. It's okay to ask citizens to snitch on their neighbors, like Nazi Germany, but should the police be reacting to calls of people snitching on their friends, like, oh my God, you got to send somebody right away. I saw my neighbors. There were 11 of them at a party in the driveway. 11, I'm telling you. You got to get it right. Get out. I know 10 of them were family, and the 11th one was an uncle, but you got to get out here and get it down right away. Somebody sent me a meme on that. If I could find it, I'd play it for you. But anyway, the person at the 911 call said, well, I can't send another person because they've already got 11. And if I send another one, that would be 12. And that's way over. Anyway, Miss Mott posted 12 photos of herself and her husband on April the 5th, tagging the location of the vacation paradise where they were. And just a couple days later, they were shocked to find a police officer at their door. The officer walked up, knocked on the door. I opened it. He handed me a ticket for a fine, and then didn't even take time to find out that the couple was being fined for an infringement of the lockdown order banning non-essential travel. The fine was $1,000. And then he said, if you post any more photos, I'll come back and arrest you. They took the vacation a year ago. Oh, man. It's insane. Absolutely insane. What are we going to do, guys? Are we going to keep putting up with this garbage, or are we going to fight back? I can tell you that me personally, I am fighting back. So we're going to be at the Alamo on the 25th. I hope you guys are going to join us. That is Saturday the 25th at 3 o'clock. I don't know what you guys think about this, but Donald Trump has fought back. He has now suspended all immigration. He announced it yesterday. He's issuing an order temporarily suspending all legal immigration on account of the Wuhan virus. Said, I'm not sure I have anything helpful to say about this, but here are a few observations. I don't think there's any question that Donald Trump has the legal authority to protect the United States. Federal law grants him broad discretion and allows him to suspend immigration from any country or from all countries. So I think that's pretty good. There's no data, for instance, on how much immigration is currently happening at the moment. There may not be much, and I know a lot of it's illegal, so that's not going to get stopped right away. But the wall is having an effect on this. But Donald Trump legitimately believes some people coming in from foreign countries could be carrying the virus. Places that don't have as much hygiene, places that aren't paying as much attention to this. And it would be a good idea to keep them out. And why not? Because Nancy Pelosi, as you know, she just wants to stay home and eat her expensive ice cream. She's not doing anything about it. So, yep, probably a good thing. Probably a good thing. Once again, we're still at, we have almost nobody that's got this dread disease. Just almost nobody. Then we got out here in El Paso, Texas, a family took their car to the car wash, started washing their car about 10 o'clock at night. About 10:30, as they're getting ready to leave, the cops show up. And they issue tickets to every member of the family for being out after curfew. The total fines come to $12,000. Each member of the family got a $4,000 fine for being out after curfew. I don't expect they're going to have to pay that. I do expect that will be that it'll be dismissed when it comes to court. But it just demonstrates the insanity of what these tyrants are trying to do to you. And I personally, I'm fed up. I am fed up. It's time for us to stand up against what we know is wrong and get that word out. So that's why I'm looking for all of you guys to be in San Antonio on the 25th. Brandon said, I'll buy one of those pennies from you. It'd look good in my office. Well, Brandon, you've been pretty good to me. I'll bring you one. You don't have to buy it. I'm just glad to be there. Frank said, I hope they'll sue for the amount they were fined. It's called a counterclaim. Well, maybe even a little bit more because of the damage done to the psyche and all of that stuff, right? College students are now pretty fed up, too. They're getting prepared to withhold tuition if they don't get a cut. The University of Chicago's endowment is currently $8.2 billion. It raised more than $5.4 billion in its recent campaign, and then it just got another $6 million in Corona relief funds. So the students want some of that to reduce their tuition. As you know, colleges have steady on raised their prices now for decades. And we also know that none of the classes you take in college are worth the money they're charging for it. They're delivering pure crap. If you're not going to Hillsdale College or Liberty University, those are the only two I really recommend to you. Montreat College in North Carolina, maybe. I wouldn't send my child to any other college. So, University of Chicago is on track to be the first university that will charge over $100,000 for tuition. And they say this impact falls disproportionately upon low-income students. I thought all the leftists always cared about the poor, right? Well, now when it comes to going to college and getting money, nope, that goes out the window. So while it cites marginalized groups to justify their demand, the petition makes it clear it wants a break on tuition and a waiving of all fees for students, regardless of the financial aid they receive, retroactive to the spring quarter for anyone who has already paid. These cuts must not come at the cost of payment, benefits, or services for any staff, faculty, or students, they say. Well, I don't know. University is beyond wealthy enough to meet these terms, they argue, and many students have few other options than relief from the administration. Full-time students who have lost their off-campus jobs now are unable to apply for unemployment and therefore have no financial safety net to pay for living expenses and are making increasingly difficult decisions. Welcome to real life, kiddos. Although instruction has moved online for the most part, leaving Chicago is not a feasible solution for many students. Many students have year-long leases without the option to move to a lower-cost area during this time. Despite the best efforts by instructors, for many students, in-person interaction is integral to their studies. This change in learning format will also highlight deep-seated inequities. I was probably right the first time. Present in the community as students have varying access to things like Wi-Fi and the ability to effectively work away from the university. Chuck's college professor, a friend of mine, has never had internet at his house until now, because now he's being forced to teach from his home. But up until now, he had never had internet at his house that he's lived in for 12 years because he just didn't need it. He said, if I need to get on the internet, I'll go to the school. Well, now he doesn't have a choice. He can't go to the school. The schools are shut down. So he has to work from home now, having classes by Zoom. Anyway, they say if the university refuses to negotiate with us before the tuition deadline on April 29th, many students are prepared to withhold their tuition payments. They have a petition. It's got 1,700 signatures. That's as of 7 p.m. yesterday. The university gave a statement to the local TV station earlier this month saying that it admits students without regard in their financial need must meet the full financial need of all students who are admitted and does not expect students to take out any loans. Compared to four-year universities in Illinois and nationwide, University of Chicago graduates have the lowest level of student debt of any of them, and they have exceptional career outcomes, including placement with substantive job opportunities and top graduate programs. Local CBS in Chicago, reported that the group behind the petition, Use Chicago for Fair Tuition, said that more than 350 students will go on this tuition strike if the university does not negotiate. Well, look, I'm here to tell you that a college education these days is not worth any amount of money. I wouldn't spend any amount of money on it. I just don't think any of them are worth the money. So, but that's just me, and I'm a crazy guy. Be interested to know what you guys think about that. Now, Harvard wants to take your kids. This article by John Zimrak from thestream.com. He said, I was rip-roaring to write an expose about Howard University's new attack on homeschooling, but Tim Carney beat me to the punch. Harvard Law School hosts a program called the Child Advocacy Program, CAP for short. And this is designed to weaken parental rights, diminish the idea of family preservation. Once again, could I just remind you that Harvard was created as a means to educate young Christian men to make them effective in the world in evangelism. The founders of Harvard would be shocked. Anyway, the latest crusade by CAP's director, Harvard Law professor Liz Bartholet, is basically to abolish homeschooling. The risk of homeschooling is Harvard's magazine headline on an article about Bartholet's crusade. It was flagged on Twitter over the weekend by education scholar and homeschooling advocate Corey DeAngelis. Bartholet's latest law review article is entitled Homeschooling, Parent Rights versus Absolutism. Parents' rights absolutism versus child rights to education and protection. Let me say that again because I screwed it up. Parent rights absolutism. Parent right absolutism versus child rights to education and protection. The way that Bartholet sees homeschooling, per the Law Review article, many homeschools are done because they want to isolate their children from ideas and values that are central to our democracy. Determined to keep their children from exposure to views that might enable autonomous choice about their future lives. For instance, homeschooling may interfere with your child's right to choose to be sexually crazed. It might interfere with your child's right to explore sexual deviancy and mental illness. We wouldn't want that to happen, would we? So she's advocating for a ban on homeschooling. They got an insane picture here. I'm going to try to pull up this picture. I think I've got it on my on one of my websites here, right here. I'm telling you, homeschooling is the salvation of America. It's the salvation of America, and it's what we want to count on. And indeed, it's the only thing that we can really count on. And yet, these leftists want to abolish that. Speaking of leftists, there's a story I didn't get to today. Young girls in Laredo violated the coronavirus stay-at-home order by going to people's homes and cutting their hair. Yep, they've got healthy fines as well. So keep that in mind. Oh, by the way, Wendell Champion is running to defeat Shijak this year. Champion 2020 is his website. He still hasn't found time to come on the show, though he has said he would do it. I hope that's just because he's just been that busy, not because he's afraid that he won't be able to answer the questions correctly. From my standpoint, I would simply say this, that he can't be any worse than Shijak. So we still may just want to consider that. So anyway, I'm not finding it. Anyway, the photo that they showed is a house made of books, and it shows reading, writing, and arithmetic, and the Bible. Those are some of the books that are in the wall of this house, bricks in the wall, if you will. And then it shows this poor, deprived child looking out the window at all of her friends out there playing. And how horrible it is that all of her friends are out there playing, but she is stuck learning how to read and write, how to count, and how our world was created by the Lord God, a.k.a. Yeshua. That is the graphic they used. And I looked at it. The first thing that struck me, I said, oh, how terrible. This poor ant being forced to work while the grasshoppers are outside playing. But winter is coming. Anyways, this woman wants to ban homeschooling. So Harvard is hosting a conference of alarmist experts in June, and they're going to gather and share horror stories about homeschooling. And they'll warn that homeschool children escape the homogenizing secular influence of the government schools, and this is going to be a problem later in life. Maybe some of these people won't just bow down and kiss the glove when they get a government edict. A powerful backlash is also emerging among homeschoolers, Christians, and worried parents. We have to teach similar institutions that it's dangerous to mainstream extremist attacks on the family. And powerful actors like Harvard apparently don't learn anything by argument. You got to put a shock collar on them. I like it. So Harvard wants to take our children. Maybe we need to take their $40 billion endowment. Will Chamberlain proposed that in Human Events. He said college debt is uniquely odious. It's the only debt that's non-dischargeable. And today, 44.2 million Americans are carrying $1.5 trillion in student loan debt. Inflated costs are likely to blame. The cost of college or millennials is significantly different today than was for their parents. The average tuition and fees at private national universities have leaped 154%. In-state tuition and fees at a public national university have grown the most, increasing 221% in 20 years. That means it's been going up at 20% a year, guys. The federal government has already spent trillions of dollars to make college education more affordable, but all that happened is the universities continue to price gouge, to spend like drunken sailors. Instead of focusing on building the skills of the next generation, they've turned into racketeering schemes, openly engaged in endless, money-grabbing, anti-competitive ventures, like banning students from living off campus or buying up all the apartments near campus and then jacking up the prices. So it's time to seize the endowments is a clarion call, a statement of intent. It dishonors the university system. Our government seizes assets that were fraudulently acquired to compensate victims of that fraud. And it places the blame for the student debt where it ultimately belongs on the university, which are exploiting our young people and immiserating them in debt while paying nothing in taxes and bloating their administrative incomes. Well, I like that a lot. I don't know what you guys think, but I think it's great. So, some good news. So far, according to a report released by International Plan and Fanticide Federation, the recent pandemics had a major impact on their ability to kill babies. They have reported that 5,663 of their 40,000 baby-killing facilities have been shuttered. This number represents 14% of their hospitals, which currently operate out of either South Asia or Africa. The cause of these clinics closing their doors has come from baby killing being deemed non-essential by governmental bodies. I think so. I think any government can look at that and say, you know, the need to kill your baby, I certainly don't see that as essential, especially when we're not letting any women get boob jobs, when we're not letting men get their knees replaced, when we're not doing lap band surgery. According to Elizabeth Sully of the Guttmacher Institute, estimates of the potential impact of the COVID-19 virus on sexual health and killing of babies in low to middle income countries, there's been a 10% decline in women getting their babies killed, which could result in an additional 15 million unintended pregnancies over the course of a year. Put another way, nearly 15 million babies will be born to begrudging parents. They won't be sliced up, gassed, or poisoned in the womb, nor will they be flushed away via abortifacient pills. Well, look, I don't like the idea of killing babies. They recommend strengthening the number of national supply chains for contraceptive and abortion, medical, and baby-killing supplies, and then they want to reverse again the Mexico City policy, making contraceptives available without a prescription, multi-month supplies paid for by you, and adopt innovative models of care such as telehealth to prevent diversion of resources and staff away from the sexual and reproductive health services and addressing the unique and specialized needs of a vulnerable population, whatever that means. I don't know, that sounded kind of like claptrap to me. You guys have to make your own decisions about that. So on that note, I'd like to ask you guys to please take a minute and look up on YouTube, go to YouTube, look up the Green Brothers Band on YouTube. I'd appreciate it if you would. And by doing that, I want you to go and find the YouTube short demo 1A. Let me see if I can post that for you. Find the YouTube short demo 1A, Green Brothers Band. Look it up on YouTube, please. Yeah, 1A, Green Brothers short demo. I'd like you to find that, and I need some thumbs up on that thing, guys. So, and I need some more views, too. So we're trying to get some work scheduled here so that the band won't starve to death, and you guys can help me with that. And I don't know if I can play this or not without it cutting out. Let's see. Guitar player's great, ain't he? Drummer's pretty good, too. All right. Well, it's cutting in and out on American Voice Radio. I'm sorry. There's just a bandwidth issue here, and I can't get around it. So let me switch this back over. But anyway, I need you guys to do that because I gotta get some likes there, and that's gonna help me. We're trying to book some gigs right now, and if we don't get some gigs booked, I don't know what I'm gonna do because I've got a couple of members of the band that is all they do. So we need to get them some work. Counting on you guys to help us to do that. So, that being said, guys, I'm going to see you at the Alamo Saturday the 25th, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and we might even have a little music for you over there. So I'm looking forward to seeing all of you there. Invite your friends. Nobody arrest a battalion, guys. So let's get over there and get a couple of 300 people at this rally. And I'd appreciate it. I'm certain that the Daughters of the Republic would appreciate it. And maybe we can stop George P. Bush from destroying the Alamo. And on that note, God willing, I will see you here tomorrow, same doc time, same doc channel.
Join us in the chat on YouTube and Facebook.